also inventive in their designs. You know, they're more and more doing urban stores, and they love this kind of thing now. So that's the brand that is getting a reputation for responding urbanistically. The second one is this is Dauphin as it becomes Spring Hill, and this is that beautiful park and this beautiful housing which is here, and the church which has, I believe it's here or here, I forget, here probably, that has closed, and underutilized sites, Siemens, unions, and so forth. But we want to actually encourage this to happen on all sides. There are little bits of residue, little triangles and so forth, and just a little design like this that actually removes some of the streets, straightens them out a little bit, just minimal intervention on that square to neaten it up. So there isn't so much space full of pebbles and, you know, that unfinished look when you have little triangles. It's a beautiful little park. You finish it up. This is already being renovated. This is the fire station. Where is the fire station? This is the fire station, full of friendly firemen, actually. They lean out the window and say hello. They do. And so it's nice, and we take it to here and then take it back. By the way, as you go beyond that, frankly, Broad is a suburban street. It's very hard to recover it. Let's face it, it's a high-speed street. You can make it look good, but it'll never be a pedestrian street. These are two huge lots on a street. This is a Dauphin. This is the park, St. Francis Park, and there's a huge site of this sadly demolished hotel. This is where we are at the moment, at the temple, and then there's another parking lot here. It's amazing how dead this street is. You know, absolutely dead. Everybody is cooperating and killing it, while this one is alive. And I think at least from about here to here, already some bars are emerging. We should give this a shot. We should try to encourage this street to recover. Now, the ideal is to have a hotel here. We believe that there is another hotel necessary, and instead of putting it in the suburbs of somewhere else, this would be a wonderful place to recover the hotel. There's enough, it's a large site, there's enough for parking. And over here where it's less valuable, we want to introduce something called the liner building. The liner building is the depth of one car. It looks like a solid building from the street. It has life on the second floor, but it doesn't remove any parking because the first floor is head-in parking. And it's income producing, and it allows you to keep the parking lot. We don't want to eradicate parking downtown or surface parking. People prefer surface parking. What we want to do is mask it from the streets. So I'll show you about liner buildings because it's something that should definitely be in the repertoire. Okay, that'll come up later. And then there are the people of community gardens, and community gardens are absolutely the hottest thing. I do believe they're permanent. I've written a book on them, my last book. It is the #1 American hobby. There are people here who know what they're doing, and we went around and they identified where the community gardens could be, what land could be. And of course, we had a lot of technical discussions. This brings a lot of people's sociability. Older folk that may be living in apartments, younger folk that want something to do with their free time and can't afford to just be buying stuff at the mall, you know, but would like to socialize. The growing of things allows conversation, not unlike the pub crawl yesterday, in which dogs, something to talk about, you make friends easily. How's your dog? You can say, how's your tomato? And you say, well, my tomato died. You know, because of the, there's a lot to talk about when you have, when you're growing food, a lot to talk about. It's extremely sociable. And it's at every level positive, socially, environmentally, in every way. And did I say it was the #1 American hobby? But it is, growing vegetables. So here we've identified these, and this is the existing Civic Center, which is about to be remaindered. This is the stuff which is going to be cleaned out. Just a very little bit that there is of Fort Conde here. And you know, it's very little, but it has an enormous presence. and now it's going to be, it should be completed. This is the future. I don't know why this is the future, or the already there Marine Museum, and this is the great convention center and the expensive hotel on the other side. None of them attached. You have to fight your way to get to the park. You can't get from the park there. You really can't. You can't get from here to there. You can't get from anything to anything else. You can't. You know, you drive or you risk your life. Okay. So this is what we're looking at. Maybe this is large enough that I can show you. The best idea, and it was not mine, is to take this quite good-looking building, which is this facade, which faces to the north of the Civic Center, keep it for what it is. It has two big halls that are very useful civic. It's like this hall, civic. You can have balls, you can have meetings. Most cities don't have civic spaces. They just don't. I've had to meet in bowling alleys. I mean, just pathetic. You have plenty of civic spaces. And also, it's extremely gentle, the way that this one was inserted into the urban fabric. I'm staying at this hotel, and it's a very gentle neighbor. This round thing could be offered as it is as the world's first round Target. You get it? Now, why are we interested in Target? Target is a department store. Target actually sells socks, underwear, bathroom rugs, toilet paper, groceries, and so forth. You need two things, three stores to live downtown and never have to leave: a Target, a Publix, and a drugstore. Okay, with those three, plus all the entertainment venues that you're already getting it, you're complete. You don't need a lot of little stores, like in the old days, selling toilet paper here and little there. And they're not going to do it anyway. You know, if you don't do something like a Target, you end up living off the 7-Eleven that comes in and sells the stuff at a kind of miserable experience. And Target is neither Costco, you know, which draws too many people, nor is it Walmart. Okay, it's just the right them. And also they're the best designers, so they're the ones most likely to understand it. Over on this side is actually a very attractive site for a Publix. Now notice I've given two Publix sites. Okay? They're both, well, one came first, then we had this one. The reason that Publix may love being here is that this is a tremendous corner. You know, that intersection there with Airbus to the south is a tremendous corner. I think you can just nail it very quickly. And then there's a drugstore here, and you're using virtually the same parking lot that exists. This is the existing parking lot already. You keep the entire Civic Center without demolition, which isn't very ecological. There's a masking building in the back of Publix, so you can actually walk down. You're not looking at the back of Publix. The parking fields are perfect. And over here, facing the existing, I believe this is, what's this neighborhood called? Church Street neighborhood. We mask the parking with townhouses and one community garden there. Okay, so those of you who face that, instead of facing parking lot, just get an urban fabric. Okay, and you have the advantage of being very, very, very near to all your shopping needs, literally within a couple of minutes of all your shopping needs, which is going to be terrific for this neighborhood. Now, there's a neighborhood to the south that has to be opened up so that they can actually get to these shops as well. So this is one idea. The other one is to take wherever we can the connectivity that is available and connect this neighborhood, the new neighborhood, with the existing units, the existing buildings that are there, the historic buildings that are here in the fort, and not only connected in this direction, but connected in this direction. This could be a very strong neighborhood, you know, as big as the Church Street neighborhood. And by the way, intrinsically not as valuable, because it'll have more noise. And at the tip here, I think this is very attractive to office buildings. We originally designed it as residential, but office buildings have tremendous visibility. You know, you have your office and your logo on the bridge, on the highways. I mean, there are so many highways that coincide there. And I think that there are companies that would, and I'm not speaking about high rises, you know, the kind of 3-story buildings that look for visibility. and look for being able to get to places like this and places like that and places like that. You understand? It isn't just visibility. People here can walk to